Hello everyone, Silver Contrail here. Today we're playing Feed the Beast again. I know it's been a while. There's been a lot that's changed, and since my last video wasn't really an episode, it was just sort of an update on some of the new things. I've been wanting to get back into it. Again, I'm waiting for my texture pack, the Adventure Timecraft pack, to be updated before I go and do any 1.6 stuff, which is what I'd like to do next. But that looks like it might be a little bit before that updates, so I'm kind of stuck until then. And Feed the Beast is a pretty good option, something I'd like to continue doing for this channel, and it's a lot of fun to play. The only issue, of course, being is that Feed the Beast is a lot more resource intensive. It takes a heck of a lot more computing power to run Feed the Beast than it does other things. I'm getting a pretty flat 30 frames, but that's on tiny render with all of the goodness turned off. I'm talking about smooth lighting and particle effects, fast graphics, all those things being set to their lowest default values that we can have in order to try to get as much processing power as I can out of it. Trying to get that 30 frames while recording. But I think I've managed now. I'm running a cool new program called Tune Up Utilities, and it lets me run in turbo mode, which shuts off lots of things, and it actually has been working pretty well. So the question is, where am I actually at? And for that, I'm going to actually boost up my render distance because I do want to show off what's going on around here. I'll kick that up to normal. My fan will probably kick on at max power when I do this. And what I'm in is a cool new biome that's added by Biomes O'Plenty, which is a mod in this Feed the Beast mod pack. This is, of course, the 0.8 version of the 15.2 WGT pack, which is, I think, still a special pack. You've got to punch a code into the launcher in order to get access to it. And that's simply the 1.5.2 version of Minecraft with Feed the Beast, and specifically including GregTech in it. So this biome that I'm in right now is called an orchard, and it's, again, a Biomes O'Plenty biome. It's really cool, and it grows a lot of neat objects in here. We've got these cool little flowers. Let me throw this off my hotbar. Anemone, which I know from Eureka 7. We've got clovers, and then we've got these trees, which are actually apple trees. Do I have any saplings? No, I don't have any saplings on me. I think they're in here. Yep, apple saplings, and they can produce 250 EU in a generator, or whatever, which is not what we're probably going to be using them for. Apple saplings grow, as you might expect, apples on them. So each of these little red spots on here is an apple, and if you right-click on it, an apple drops off, and they actually regrow. And if you chop them down, when these leaves despawn, it will drop more apples. So it's a really easy way to get food, and that's actually one of the reasons why I decided to live here. I didn't have to do any things trying to set up food and worrying about that. Plus it looks really nice. It's cool. It's got these awesome sunflowers, really nice rolling hills, and lots of cow spawns, so it's a pretty cool place. There's a couple ravines around here. As you can see, I've already done some beginning exploration, and there's some stuff going on there. To one of the directions, I believe this is to the north. I could be wrong. This is to the, yeah, to the north. To the north is a much more dangerous biome. This is the, I'm going to have to check my F3 to see what it is. This is called the Deadlands. Oh, poor cow. The Deadlands are covered in ash. So these are like ash blocks, and then they've got fire on them, and they've got this red water, as well as these things, which are, I think they're like flame soil or something like that. Basically, it's like the nether on Earth. In fact, if you go in here, you can see that the sky color changes to this red. It's very gloomy. And then we've got some mountains, I think, over there. And then back that way towards my initial spawn is, I believe they're called, there's some kind of brushland. I don't remember exactly what the name is. Biomes O'Plenty adds about 40 mods to the game, which is pretty intense. Yeah, and there goes my fan. So that's a lot. I'm going to lower my render distance, although it's actually running pretty well Another issue I'm running into is my graphics card's actually overheating, which is crazy to think about. It's getting way too much heat in it. I'm watching it clock over 100 degrees Celsius while I'm playing and recording. It's out of control. But I'm going to be getting a new desktop soon, so that won't be too much of a problem when that happens. So one of the things I did do, and this is, I think, a glitch in this, or something is up here, I don't know what it is exactly. I spawned in a rubber tree. So I gave myself a rubber tree sapling through NEI. It's the one quote-unquote cheat thing that I'm going to do. And the reason I did that is because it hasn't spawned in any of the biomes that I've been in already. It might be because extra or Biomes of Plenty doesn't spawn rubber trees. I haven't really tested that, but I think it might not, which means I'd have to continue exploring until I found a regular biome and then grab the sapling out of that. I guess in single player it's not that big of an issue, but I didn't want to make my world file size ridiculous, especially if I wanted to put my world file up for download. So I decided to just spawn one in. You can pretend that I went and explored for hours and I found one. Uh, Realistically, I think I should have... Oh, I don't want to make that. What am I doing? Realistically, I should have found one by now, but for some reason it didn't give me one. In terms of what I have set up right now, it's basically what I had on the previous server. Not too much different here. I've got the basic thermal expansion stuff, a powered furnace, and a pulverizer. I've got a fair bit of materials, about probably, 3.5 stacks of iron, some gold, some copper, some tin, silver, all that sort of thing, as well as some rubies that I managed to find, and then a bunch of these nuggets. Actually, I'll show you what's going on with the nuggets. One thing that Tinker's Construct adds, a relatively new mod, I guess, to Feed the Beast, is... Oh, crap. Oh, that could have been bad. Survive with 1 health. I've been worried that I was going to do that. I'm going to have to fix this drop. What? Well, okay then. Alright. So that's a thing. I don't know how that happened. Whatever, I guess. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a better way to get down here. It clearly isn't working. Maybe if I... we'll try something later. Oreberry bushes. So this is a Tinker's Construct edition. And what they are is they're bushes that grow certain ores on them in the form of berries. So if I click on them, I'll get a silver oreberry. And you can take the oreberries and stick them in a furnace, and you'll get 1 nugget of that ore. So if I come back over to the powered furnace, I put the oreberry in, it does its thing. And then it's going to output 1 of these silver nuggets. So just bumped up to 5. So that's how... I need to actually pulverize a bunch of this. Oh, this is off. Yeah, I'm trying to get through some of my materials. I have actually quite a bit just kind of stashed that I haven't gone through yet. I do need to store some of this stuff. I don't know what these actually are really for. I haven't really looked them up yet. And then we've got this. Although we could, if you, of course, in NEI, if you're unfamiliar, if you go to any item and you want to know how you use something, hover over it with a mouse and then press U, and it shows all the crafting recipes that it's used in. I can create a block of peridot, which kind of looks like the emerald block. Ancient staff pole. I don't know what that is. It requires endstone, so... Oh, you can use it to create olivine. Oh, you need it for data storage circuits. Okay. So this is a more... Olivine dust can be used for a lot of things, if I remember correctly. I think you can electrolyze it, I think. Yep, you can electrolyze it and get magnesium, iron, silicon cells, compressed air cells. You can use it with a blast... Okay, yeah, obviously you can do that. And then, yep, you can do that to get the data storage circuits. And it is an amplifier for the mass fabricator, which we can't even use anyways, so that's irrelevant to us. That's more of a late game item. I don't really need it right now. My power source is really slow as it stands, with the Stirling engine being the only way that I'm producing power, besides like one magmatic engine. But I'm going to come down here and collect the rest of these. So I have silver, I have aluminum, I have copper, and I think I have iron and tin. There is gold, but I'm pretty sure there is gold, and then I don't have that. So yeah, we have the tin, aluminum, silver. The other thing to watch out for is that if you do touch these, they will deal damage to you. But you can find them underground, and you can pick them up and plant them wherever you have to. They're like mushrooms, actually. You can't plant them in anywhere where it's too bright. You have to plant them where it's dark, which is pretty cool. So you can't just like lay them all over your world. You do have to dig out a space for them. So I'm going to toss these in my hopper. Probably toss the rest of these guys in here. I don't have things to mess with silver yet. The rubber trees do need to get replanted, though. I'm going to need some rubber trees. So like I've talked about in previous videos, rubber is a really important component of industrial craft, which of course makes it a really important component of Greg Tech, and those are two of the biggest mods on Feed the Beast. So getting rubber trees is very, very important. Getting some sticky resin early on, yeah, it's a good thing to have. I'm going to need more storage, though. I'm already running out. So for today, I'd like to, besides showing off what I've been doing so far, actually get to constructing my base, because we've got work to do. I want to put some kind of building, like right along here, over the top of this hill that I'm on, basically. It's a nice, naturally defensible area. Everything slopes away from this hill, and so I can build my base and then actually have it kind of sprawl out. I think that'd be cool. Over here I have an aqueous accumulator, which is accumulating water, sending all that water to the igneous extruder, which is using some lava that I stored in it, plus the water that it's getting to create stone, and it's just stacking that stone on the chest. So this is basically an infinite stone generator, and you can use this to create an infinite supply of stone brick. Pretty simple. And this is probably what I'll make the foundation of this base out of, is stone brick. Another block I want to use is a relatively new one called quarried block, and this is specifically the fitted quarry block. And basically, if you put them side by side, you can see they're the same texture. One's just lighter than the other. At least I think they're the same texture. Oh, they're a little bit different. They're the same brick pattern, though. So yeah, I'd like to use those two together to make the base somehow. I think it takes a long time to mine. But I think first I will have to dig up the rest of this. 'Cause I think I want it to go... I guess I could expand it more. This will probably be maybe my starter machining room. Kind of the room that I do everything in. I like to have that when I start off, a room that you do everything in. That you do all your machining in. You've got almost your storage there. And kind of just do stuff. That's where you stick around, especially early game. When you don't need different buildings for everything that you're doing. You just need one building. And if you watch any Let's Plays, you usually catch on pretty quickly to what their do stuff room is. Like, where do you go if you need to do something? It's usually that sort of a room. With all their chests, with their basic machines, that sort of stuff. So I think this might be the start of the base here, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that'd be good. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably could go further. 8, 9. So go in here, 8, 9. There we go. Just fill this in. I'd like the floor to be this fitted quarry stone, because I like how white it is. That's really cool. And then probably make it go from here to maybe about, like for right now, probably to here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we go here. That might be too far. That might be too big of a room, actually. Maybe I'll go 4, 5, 6. Maybe I'll only go 6. I can probably expand it later anyways. Yeah, so 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh, and it'll actually go right here. So let's see, if this was a room, there'd be a wall, there'd be a wall here. And then, yeah, there's a lot of room in here. It's a lot longer than maybe I'd want. Maybe I'd want it more square, but I guess long works for now. Because I can always make it wider. I really can't make it longer, because I'll run off the edge of the cliff. But I can definitely go that way. So I think that'll be a good direction to go. Let me lay down the flooring, at least some of it, get some starter walls down, and we'll see how that looks. I don't know why, but this reminds me of some sort of inner city soccer field or park or something. It looks odd, and vaguely familiar. But I think this is a good idea. All this grass, of course, will be replaced, I think, with the quarried brick that we have here. I ended up using up all of it, exactly the amount that I needed. But I can go get more. Quarried stone spawns naturally in the world in chunks. You can see it from the surface. The other cool stone, and I'll bring this up in NEI, is called abyss stone, or abyssal stone. And you find this down underground, so it's the opposite. And when you use it for fitted abyssal stone, it's basically exactly like the stone brick and the fitted quarry brick or stone, in that it looks like the stone brick, but it's black. So it's pretty cool. It kind of, these two components kind of replace the marble and basalt that we used to have with Red Power 2, which is no longer in Feed the Beast versions that are in 1.5. So it's kind of neat, an interesting option there. Otherwise, I'm just kind of working on this. Actually, probably want to set this up now. I think I've got enough silver to do my next project. For power so far, what I've been doing is using a Stirling engine, which is powered via either some sort of burnable material, usually coal coke, which I get from this coke oven here. You put in coal, turns it into coal. Actually, I can do this now. I forgot that I was doing this. You put in coal and it turns it into coal coke, which is a more efficient burning of coal, and it does it for free. It just takes time. Coal coke will burn half a stack of a material, will smelt half a stack of a material. So, in order to burn a stack with coal, you have to put in 8. To burn a stack, smelt a stack of, say, iron ore with coal coke, you just need to put in 2. So it's a little bit more efficient. Same thing for glass and turning cobblestone into stone. So what we want to do now, I think, is upgrade our power supply. So this works. This setup works. It's fair to use. The problem is it's slow. This thing's only outputting, oh, sorry, 1 MJ per tick, and that's just too slow for us. The magmatic engine over here can output 4 MJs per tick, but it takes a bucket of lava in order to run, and that's annoying. I want some sort of renewable source of power to do things with, and to do that, I'm going to need to go to Steam, and Steam is really cool because there's a cool new Steam, let's see, solar boiler, and the solar boiler, really simply, you put above a water source, and then you point a bunch of these mirrors at it, which are not in here, which I'll look up in a second. And what it does is it then heats up during the day when the light is reflecting off the mirrors, and it gives you steam. It produces steam. You send that steam to some sort of steam engine, say a commercial steam engine, and then you're going to have power. So to do that, we may need to make iron plates, which I think we can do either on the rolling machine. An iron hammer. I've never seen this before. This is kind of cool. Huh. Cool. That's actually a pretty neat recipe you can do there. The rolling machine looks like it's more efficient, though. It gives you 4, even though it does take the power, obviously. But I think I'll just make a rolling machine to get the iron plates. So probably want to do that first. Like I said, the mirrors that you point at the engine, they are here, and they are 1 glass pane with pieces of silver ingots. A little pricey in terms of silver, but it's definitely something we can accomplish. Alright, so like I said, the first thing we're going to need here is a rolling machine to make our iron plates. We make that with, forgot one last thing. We make that with a crafting bench. Place that in the middle, 4 pistons surrounding it, and then 4 iron in the corners, and we get a rolling machine. We're going to place this guy right here. The rolling machine then takes certain recipes, which we load up on the crafting grid on the left, and then, come on, why am I on a crafting bench? Oh, there we go. Getting a little slowness now. Let me drop my NEI for a second. I'll put these guys in here. We need to make the iron plates. The problem is we do need energy to do this, so I'm going to turn this guy so he'll be pointing this way, and he's going to get the energy he needs. So the rolling machine's ready to go. I click to start. It's going to take up that energy. I'm going to turn this thing back because we don't really need that much. And there we go. We've already got our 4 iron plates that we need to make our steam engine. So let me go get more stuff for that, and then we'll do some more crafting and see what we have. Alright, let's wrap up these crafting recipes. So, first thing we need to make is a hobbyist steam engine. Actually, let's make the solar boiler first. I think that makes the most sense. Okay, so we've got the solar boiler, and what this is going to do is it's going to create steam, and it creates steam when you have these things pointed at it. These are mirrors, so we'll just use up all of our stuff in there. We'll use 7 of them, and then we want to use some sort of engine that runs off of steam. We're going to be producing steam, but it doesn't equate into power until we send it to an engine, so we use the commercial steam engine to accomplish that. This episode's dragging out a little bit, so I may have to cut it shorter than usual. Rendering's a little tough these days. So if we hook this up, in fact I'll hook it up over here to start with. Can I pick this guy up with a wrench? No, I cannot. Pick him up like that. Let's just set it up over here just as a proof of concept, I think. Let me get it set up, and then I'll hook some things up to it, and I'll show you how it works. Alright, so wrapping things up here, here's the solar boiler. It should be running fine now. If I attach this, we can see that it does in fact try to fill up with steam. Not a whole lot because there isn't much in there. But we can output steam, and we can send the steam to our engine, I believe. Oh, I think it might need to be, nope, not like that. This guy needs to be maneuvered, or it needs a switch. One of the two. I think it might be the switch that it needs, or the lever. If you put one here, and then you put a lever here. Yep, that makes it go in. Now you can see when my game catches up. The steam bar in here fills up, and then the engine will start outputting MJs. But I actually don't want it to do anything right now, and it's going to start not producing MJs because the steam, or the solar light, is going away, which is how the solar boiler, of course, creates its steam, and that's how I get power. And I'm going to hook this up as my main power source for a while, I think, to power my machines. And I think that's about it for this episode, so I'll have everything configured here eventually down the road. But this is probably going to be my main power source for some time, at least until I get to some more impressive boilers. But yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching, and until next time then.